In many cultures, black dogs are considered to be mysterious and spiritual beings. In China and Southeast Asian countries, black dogs are often seen as symbols of warding off evil and protecting against harm. It is said that black dogs possess the ability to communicate with spirits, sense unseen presences, and even predict the future. In some legends, black dogs can protect homes and ward off evil forces. Alice grew up in an ordinary but loving family, and her childhood was made extraordinary by a mysterious black dog. This dog, named Shadow, was not just Alice's pet, but also a guardian angel. Every morning, Shadow would escort Alice to the village entrance for school, and in the evening, it would be there to walk her back home. Shadow had a pair of bright, piercing eyes that seemed to see through people's hearts. Shadow was not just an ordinary dog. Its spirituality and intelligence were extraordinary. Every day on the way home from school, Shadow would run ahead of Alice like a scout. Sometimes it would suddenly stop, alertly looking in a certain direction, with its ears standing straight up as if listening to something. During these moments, Alice would feel a bit uneasy, but seeing Shadow's determined eyes would reassure her. One time, Alice got lost while playing outside the village. The surrounding forest was dense, and the shadows of the trees looked especially eerie in the setting sun. Alice wandered helplessly in the deep woods, her heart racing, and everything before her seemed so strange and terrifying. Just when she was almost in despair, Shadow, using its extraordinary sense of smell and mysterious intuition, quickly found Alice and brought her back home. From then on, Alice's reliance on Shadow grew even deeper, and the villagers began to say that Shadow was a spiritual dog, with some even believing it had the ability to communicate with spirits. However, fate often takes unexpected turns. One cloudy afternoon, with dark clouds hanging low and thunder rumbling, Shadow lay lazily in the yard, its eyes showing a hint of mystery and alertness. At that moment, the neighbor's child suddenly ran into the yard and started tugging on Shadow's tail. Shadow, startled, turned around, baring its sharp teeth and letting out a low growl as if warning the child. However, it did not actually bite. Despite this, the child was scared and ran home crying to his father. The angry father, hearing his child sobbing, flew into a rage. He grabbed a large stick and stormed into Alice's house. With his eyes flashing with malice, he ruthlessly beat Shadow to death in a pool of blood. At that moment, Shadow's eyes were filled with pain and helplessness, as if conveying a premonition. Alice and her family witnessed everything, heartbroken, but powerless to stop the tragedy. That night, the village was eerily silent, with only the light from Alice's house flickering in the darkness. Alice's mother knelt beside Shadow's body, tears constantly falling to the ground. She murmured something softly, as if praying for forgiveness from the heavens. Whether Shadow's soul could find peace, no one knew. However, things did not end there. A week later, that angry father was working by the village pond. The sky was overcast, and the wind howled ominously, as if foretelling something terrible. At that moment, he was pierced in the foot by a rusty fish hook. The wound quickly became infected, causing him great pain. Within days, he was burning with fever, looking extremely haggard and delirious. In the dead of night, he began to have strange hallucinations. He seemed to see Shadow's figure wandering before him, its piercing eyes filled with cold cruelty, filling him with immense fear and despair. As time went on, the father's condition rapidly deteriorated, and he eventually died of tetanus. The night before he died, villagers heard his chilling screams coming from his house, as if he were undergoing some terrible torment. Those screams echoed through the night, sending chills down everyone's spine. The villagers began to say that it was Shadow's spirit seeking revenge, a manifestation of karmic retribution. This story deeply conveys that black dogs are seen as mysterious and spiritual beings in many cultures. The deep bond between Alice and Shadow, and the father's terrible retribution for his impulsive act, all remind us that every life deserves respect and every action can have far-reaching consequences. I hope this story can provoke thought, urging everyone to cherish every life around them and learn tolerance and understanding. If you enjoyed this story, please like and share it so more people can hear this mysterious and thrilling tale. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.